Alright guys, how you doing? How was your Christmas? I hope it was a good one for you. And now it's the new year, 2018. So in this video we're going to be talking about my bench press and what I've learned in the last 2 years of bench pressing for powerlifting. And as you know, if you've been following me and you've been watching my other videos, I had a bunch of injuries in the last 3 years, mostly shoulder injuries. And now that the shoulder is healed, I've had a problem. I got injured over the summer with my chest and my bicep tendon. So that's still a little tender yet. Still taking a while to heal, but I still can bench. So what happens is when you injure your shoulder or your pectoral muscle in the shoulder area, your body tries to compensate for the injury, and you start using other muscles to be able to do the bench and do the press. So what you do is when you try to compensate for your injury, you tend to screw up this side also in benching. So both sides get messed up, and you can't get the groove, you can't get the press, you can't set up or anything right. So what happens is that you can't progress as far as putting weight on the bar. So what I've been doing is just trying to break up the scar tissue here, and once that's done, I'm probably going to be able to bench press better. So what I've been doing is just do a lot of high reps in my benches, lightweight, so I can work this out, and it's getting a lot better. So hopefully in the next 3 months I can start adding some more weight to the bench for the meet coming up in March. Now here's the things that I've learned about different cues on benching, and these are the cues that I learned watching videos on the internet. Hold the bar as wide as you can comfortably, so that way you can shorten the range of motion coming up and back off your chest. Bend the bar as you're coming down, and then as you're coming up, spread out the bar, spread out the bar. So all these things again, just like I explained in the other videos of my squat and my deadlift. This is all the things you're thinking of and about, trying to perfect your bench. And it takes so much out of you learning these different aspects of the movement, is that the main part that you're losing is building up strength to do the bench. Now what you're doing is, okay, you got the bench, you unrack the bar, then you, sitting in your head, you're bending the bar to hold it and then bring it back, and then you're spreading the bar out to bring it up. Well, I tried all these and it doesn't work. For one thing, when you're bending the bar so hard that you can't bend the bar, but you're mentally and physically trying to, you start messing up your wrists. You pull so hard that you're screwing up your wrists. Now maybe for a young person that's flexible in the wrist, have no problem. But for us older guys, spreading out, going and trying to bend the bar is really killing the wrists, the bones and the ligaments here in the wrists. We have enough hard time bending and getting the flexibility in the wrists, let alone try to really squeeze and try to pull the bar down to our chest. So I eliminated that. Now, the spreading of the bar. Okay, so now I'm spreading out instead of pushing up. I'm spreading out. So now I'm messing up my elbows. And the ligaments and the tendons in here are getting messed up. So I eliminated that. And what's really funny is that all the years I benched with the suicide grip. I never benched with my thumb. And after all these years of benching, and then I if you saw my other videos that I had started, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I gave up working out heavy for like over 20 years. I just worked out with light dumbbells just to keep the everything moving and to keep the circulation going, but never really doing any heavy workouts until the last 3 years, 2.5 years ago. So anyway, so all those years I was benching, probably 30 years I was benching without putting my thumbs around the bar. There's a few channels that I subscribe to, and one of them is Omar Isif and Sonic Mike. And I was watching a video a few months ago on Omar's channel, and Sonic Mike was on there, and they're talking about the grip and how to set your hands up and everything. And Sonic Mike was talking about how he sets up is he sets it up as a suicide grip first, and then he wraps his thumbs around the bar. And then I'm thinking to myself, after all these years, because what happens is when I grab the bar, I'm racking, when I grab the bar, I'm sitting there and I keep going with my hands, trying to set up my hands. And for the last year and a half, I can never just grab the bar, bring it out, and then do the bench press. I'm over there screwing around up there with my hands, moving back and forth, trying to get the right position. Now here, it dawns on me. All those years I was doing the suicide grip, and it was comfortable. It felt good, and I was able to push through when I did the bench. So watching this video back, and I had to go back, way back. I knew it was one of their websites, either Sonic Mike's channel or Omar's channel, that I watched this Mike talking about the suicide grip, and then it dawned on me, that's what I did. That's all those years I was doing, and this is what I was explaining too in the last few videos, is that when you learn how to do something, and then all of a sudden you want to change it now because you think it's better, it's going to be easier, now you got to relearn it all over again. You have to relearn how to squat, you have to relearn how to deadlift again, because you think that what you saw on the internet is going to help you make it easier, or get you stronger, or get you better. And then all that you learned in the months ahead of this, you're going to lose now, because you're trying to learn something different. So anyway, after all these years, still in my mind, the suicide grip, doing the bench press, is still there. All right, so what I did was, I did what Mike did, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a short clip on here to show you exactly what I mean and how he discussed it and how he showed it. So what I did was, I got under the bar, I put my hands on the bar, I did the actual setup for a suicide grip, then I put my thumbs around it, then I unracked the bar, and guess what? I didn't go and do all this moving around and wiggling around my hands trying to find out. My right spot was right there. The spot that I used to bench years ago was still there. And I went down and I went up, and I couldn't believe how easy it was. So it was really a good thing that I watched these videos. And like I said, some videos you really learn a lot of information and correct information on how to do these lifts. And when you watch my videos, I've experimented with everything, and what I'm showing you now is probably the best ways to do any of these three lifts. I'm not going to say that it'll be great for you, but it's worked for me. And I've experimented with everything that's been on, you know, I've seen on the YouTube. So that's what I'm doing now. I got the suicide grip, wrap my thumbs around, and now I bench. And now I don't have to think about how my hands are going anymore. All I got to do now is just think just about how to do the movement of the lift, get the right form, and get stronger now. So that's what I'm going to be doing now, from now to the meet time. This is it. I'm not going to change anymore. My shoulder's better now. I'm getting to be able to push now without having to have the wrong, you know, to bring the arms in and bring the arms out. I got the right position now for my shoulders don't hurt, and my chest is now getting better. So what we're going to do next? Well, I have one more video I think I'm going to make before we go down in the basement and start doing, showing you my training for the meet. If I can do some research and it's not going to be that hard or it's not going to take that long, I'm going to put this next video up. And after that, we're going to the basement and we're going to do some training. So I hope you guys had a great holiday and have a great new year now, 2018. And just remember, stay healthy. See you down in the gym.
Another thing that's helped me a lot when I'm setting up for the bench is, obviously everyone has different hands and size and meat and paws. I have pretty fat little mitts, but what's helped me is I try to set it up in the meat almost like I'm going to do the suicide false grip, and then at the last second I will wrap my thumbs around. So again, if I get it in the meat of my hand, it's automatically over my wrist. What happens is it'll start to get out here, and if you have a big hand or a small hand, technically actually if you have a small hand it will be easier because you have less mitt, the bar is going to be stuck in there. Yeah, if you have a longer hand it might start creeping up. But basically what I'll do is I'll do it backwards for you, is I'll mitt it up, I'll get set, and then I'll grab the bar, and then I'll barely wrap my thumb around. And so right now, I'll do it from the other angle as well for B-roll, but you're in the meat, I'm in the meat, so I'd false grip like this, and that's why I think people like the false grip is they feel strong there because it's straight in line with their wrists. And instead of doing that because it is dangerous, now I'll just wrap my thumb around at the end.
If you like the video, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe.